Good morning. My name is Ralf Friedrichs. I'm an addiction recovery coach, a life coach, and the host of this show, to Take Your Life Back Today radio show. You can see a video version of this on YouTube on channel Take Your Life Back Today show. Early in the morning, this Sunday morning. This whole week, I will be, I have been doing short inspirational stories that are powerful to hear. Friends, today I want to talk about my story. I tried to blame everyone and everything, but it was really my fault. Because my name is Ralph and I'm a recovering alcoholic. I am one of the fortunate alcoholics who has lived to tell my story. But for the grace of God and my strong desire to live, if it wasn't for that, I would have died. I started drinking at a very early age and was very popular by the time I became a teenager and in high school. And the crowd always called me the life of the party. I could always outdrink everyone who I was with. What started off as fun ended in a living hell in my life. My drinking continued through high school and into college and then right into the United States Marine Corps. At that time, my drinking was fairly well under control. I mean, as a controlled alcoholic. I was young. I had the stamina to get drunk every night and work every day, and the vicious cycle went on and on. I really don't like drunkalogs, so I will try to be brief and say I was married the first time, held the very prestigious jobs, working on my field in opticianry. I had a home and a wife who I thought I loved at the time, and most of all, I had a child. The blackouts started, and they started quickly. Well, this wife didn't love me as much as I thought. She did the right thing. She took my self-esteem, which in turn took my child. I booted myself out of my own home and left her, and we divorced many years later. I still had not bottomed out. I could still outdrink anyone around me, and by then, of course, the blackouts had continued and got worse. Believe me, I tried to blame everyone and anything around me. I knew for my drinking that it wasn't my fault. Everyone was responsible for my drinking except for me. A typical sign. The blackouts were, in a way, a blessing. I don't want to remember some of those times, but they were a blessing because they were signs from God that I needed help. Finally, of course, the time came when I could no longer live without the alcohol. I had to have my daily fix of alcohol every few hours or so. My life was a total living hell. There were so many days when all I could do was look out my window and see if it was daylight or if it was dark. When hitting alcohol bottom, that's when the signs are still going to affect you. That, my friend, is something that no living human being would ever want to go through. Of course, eventually the time came when there was no money for rent or anything except for a few dollars I kept back for my booze in my back pocket. Thank God my family practiced tough love. All of my family knew of my problem. This was bottom out time. I looked into the yellow pages, talked to some friends, and found a phone number for AA. The liquor had stopped working. I needed something stronger. Within minutes, a gentleman from Alcoholics Anonymous was there to pick me up. The gentleman was not shocked by a few things I told him. I was so sure my story was unique from everyone else's story. I was so sure I was unique from everyone else. Little did I know, but I was simply an alcoholic like everyone else, one who was ready to do anything in the world to change my life around. Friends, I went to a few AA meetings, and lots of other people started working with me and detoxing me, but AA wasn't for me. I have never been so sick mentally and physically, but I learned after that even my worst day sober was still my best day drunk. The liquor had stopped working for me. There was no more high or good feeling. I would like to tell you that I stopped there, but that after that 1 year of sobriety, I decided I possibly could still be a social drinker. God, what a disaster that was. What I was always told in AA program the few times that I went was that the disease is so very progressive even when you are sober, and sure enough, I lived to find that out. After my first or second drink, I went straight into a blackout. So my insane bout with drinking had started all over again. I am so grateful, so very thankful to God and to those that still believed in me at that time, that I was one of the lucky ones who made it back. It was so hard to walk back to sobriety and start all over and pick up a new daily count, but I did it. I did it because God wanted me to do it. The hell with false pride, I was ready to quit drinking again. Otherwise, I was doomed for an insane asylum or death. I am happy to tell you that I have just reached my 6th year sober. I never could have made it alone. My second wife, my best friend, and my soulmate kept me alive long enough to seek God for help. She is the reason that I am who I am today. God is the reason that I met her. I have to have all of you, my brothers and sisters that listen to my podcast and watch my videos, to remind me of who I am, and that is it. Ralph, a recovering alcoholic. This is my AA each and every day. A recovering alcoholic who must take one day at a time in order to stay sober. There have been many setbacks in my life, but thank God I have not had to take a drink in over 6 years. Seems like this year, 2019, had been my hardest. Well, not really. 2016 was my hardest when I lost my mom, but I still did not drink then. But this year has been harder because we've had some setbacks in our family. Every day is like a new day to me now. Sometimes I feel as if I don't quite know which direction I am going, but I know as long as I stay sober, the direction will be sooner or later become a clear message from God. I have the privilege of being able to do some work through my camera and my microphone daily, and it is such a great feeling to share my experience, strength, and hope with another suffering human being, possibly you watching me. I hope, in doing so, that somewhere down the line I may help just one person through my camera to find their way to the only program in the world that has worked for me, the program for the living. Thank God for my wife Casey, who reminds me every single day that life is worth living, and life is not hard to live without alcohol. Whatever I would have done had her path not crossed into my path probably would have been dreadful. I don't have everything in the world I want right now, but I do have everything that I need, and it has been proven to me by my God and my wife Casey each and every day. There are many things I would like to change in my life, but I feel it is meant for me to change. It will happen because that's the way God sees it. It will happen, I promise. I do now have 4 grandchildren. Each day I pray for strength. Each day I pray for them. Each day I pray for my family. It is that simple. There is no in between. Life as a sober person is worth doing all that for. I want to end by telling you each, those of you who I don't know, that I truly love you. If you have an addiction issue, we share the same disease and we know what we have to do in life. We have a choice today. That choice, and it isn't that a wonderful thing. Some people with diseases don't have a choice. We do. If you have a disease called alcoholism or drug addiction, I promise you I'll give you the gift of sobriety. God will give it to you. I love life without alcohol. I enjoy so much drinking my Diet Pepsi wherever I go and watching the birds in the morning, simply things that nobody else would think is important. God will help you. I can help you. the gift of sobriety, I find that I can make clear decisions even though they don't always have the outcome I would like. What more can I say? I am grateful. I'm a grateful alcoholic whose name is Ralph, and every day is a new day awakening because I have been given another chance. If you have a disease of addiction, of alcohol and drug addiction, you have a chance to change. That is the reason I have to stay active in bringing you my show and always reminding myself of who I am, where I've been, and where I am going, and where I never want to go back again. Thank you all for allowing me to share my story with you, and I hope that if you have a story, you contact me at 844-405-HELP, because we can help each other take our lives back. I can talk about your story right here on the air. Be good to yourselves and always be good to each other. Remember, a simple smile to a total stranger can help that stranger for the rest of their life, and it can help you change your own life. If God has given you a disease called alcoholism and drug addiction, He's given you the chance to take that disease back. Do it today.